Why oh why oh why oh why you keep fucking with me? You gon' make me jump out my skin, believe me. Push these niggas on me like huh. Push them niggas on me like huh. Yeah. Head up, chest out, silence. I'm stressed out. Yes, sir. You already know the vibes, my sir, my dog, my good friends. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. My brother Paul, good evening, my brother. I got to get you on the show here shortly. Let me know when you available so we can get you on the show. What is going on, my friends? It is your boy John Quick of the Talk That Lingo crew, where we talk that lingo very, very fast. And like I always say, it's harder to keep money than to get it, man. But we're gonna be getting into some crazy things here today. If you have not yet had a chance to check out that Kendrick Lamar album, you're doing yourself a disservice. Let me just tell you that you're doing yourself a disservice. I actually was having a crazy conversation um, in somebody's Facebook comments. I believe it was Jordan Williams. I want to just make sure I give the appropriate credit to who it should go to. And Jordan was saying how actually I can go ahead and pull it up. But essentially he was saying that this Kendrick album doesn't knock, or it's not as fire as previous Kendrick albums. And I mean, I understand that. Actually, what Jordan says, he says the Kendrick Lamar album was okay, lyrics were great, but as a musician, it wasn't as fulfilling as his previous work. His first mixtapes in 2011 were better than that, if you're keeping it real. First of all, I want to address the 2011 part. Listen, we are 11 years removed from 2011, so anything in 2011 probably ain't gonna make a whole lot of noise in 2022. Like this is look at this. Look at this. This is 2022, my boy. Like you can't just sit here and compare albums that come out this year to prior albums, you know what I'm saying, in different years, because different years have different feelings, different years take on different attributes, if you will, right? That's first and foremost. Secondly, I think people do themselves a disservice by not appreciating the music that we have in front of us at the current time, right? And what's really crazy is that we cannot keep the music that's in front of us. All right, so let me say this. Let me back up a little bit. So we as the black community, we have such a comparative mindset where we compare this rapper to that rapper, or compare this basketball player to that basketball player, right? And it really takes away the ability for us to appreciate the two things that we may be comparing. So when you say To Pimp a Butterfly is not as good as or when you say this new album that Kendrick dropped is not as good as To Pimp a Butterfly, then you're really doing yourself a disservice, because you're judging this new album based off the success of To Pimp a Butterfly, where they had two completely different messages, and both messages really hold strong. So if you're looking at, okay, well, this is better than this and this is better than that, listen, let me tell you something. If you're looking for the best, the number one album of all time, and every single new album you listen to, you just compare it to the best album of all time, well, you're not going to be able to appreciate. You're doing yourself as a fan or as a musician, if you say, a disservice, because You're not appreciating what's in front of you. Like the whole Michael Jordan and LeBron James, and we're not going to be talking about basketball, but I just want to mention this. The whole Michael Jordan and LeBron James comparison is really a disservice to both LeBron and Michael, because you can't really appreciate either one, because you're like, well, this person's better. This person didn't do this, so this person's better. So it's kind of like appreciate the both of them. Both of them are incredible players. Both of them are really, really good at what they do. This person can't do what this person does, and then that person can't do what the opposite person does. So when we're talking about music, make sure we address that accordingly. To Pimp a Butterfly is not Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I do want to say I don't know why Kendrick called this album Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I'm not sure why he did that. I like it though. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. So you're doing yourself a disservice by not appreciating the album as it is in its entirety. This is not To Pimp a Butterfly. If you want albums like To Pimp a Butterfly, you need to go listen to Pimp a Butterfly. That's just the bottom line. Like, if you want that album, you need to go listen to that. You can't just expect every album to come out from Kendrick to sound like To Pimp a Butterfly, because at the end of the day, it's like, you already gave us this album. You don't need to give us. Every one of Kendrick's projects give you a different feel. And I'm not sure if you were able to watch the Big Boy interview where Big Boy was interviewing Kendrick Lamar on his radio show, and you will see that Damn was a hybrid of Section 88. Damn was a hybrid of Section 88, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Good Kid, Mad City. None of those projects sound the same. None of them sound the same. So when Kendrick gives us Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I'm expecting this album not to sound the same as his past albums, as his previous albums. So when you say, oh yeah, To Pimp a Butterfly was better than this, well, all of Kendrick's albums have different sounds, different visions when he goes to create his music. So you just appreciate the music as it is. Don't listen to the music and say, well, I like that better. Well, go back and listen to that if you want to listen to that. But don't compare what you like to something new from that same artist. Give the artist an opportunity to grow and learn and develop his ear for different sounds in the music industry. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And there was other people going on there saying that To Pimp a Butterfly is still a GOAT work. Yes, To Pimp a Butterfly is an incredible, incredible album. However, we're not about to sit here and compare every Kendrick Lamar album to his best album. You just shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Am I gonna not listen to Jay-Z's newest album because Reasonable Doubt was so good? No. Does that not allow me to appreciate 4 for 4 by Jay-Z because Reasonable Doubt was so good? No. Can I not enjoy My Dark Twisted Fantasy because Graduation was so good by Kanye? No. Like, listen, these albums are separate from one another. Don't group the album into other songs from another album. Like, this is one of Kendrick's best work if we are talking about the message of this sound. On this album, Kendrick was basically talking about a black man trying to heal from childhood traumas. That's what this album was about. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was about a black man trying to heal from childhood traumas. So if you want to compare your childhood traumas to something else that you've done in your past, well, then you're really doing yourself a disservice. Allow this album to set in, sink in, and resonate with you personally. Now, maybe you may not have any childhood traumas that you have experienced, but at the same time, you want to be able to appreciate all aspects of your life. You don't want to look at Well, I hated this because I love this so much, and I didn't like this because I love this so much. Well, how are you going to be able to appreciate anything if you're just like comparing everything? So that comparative mindset is definitely doing a disservice for you because you're not able to appreciate some things. Um, with that being said, I think this is an incredible album. I think this album was incredible. I was actually telling my fiance a couple days ago, I think Kendrick was talking to me when he made this album. When he created this album, he was talking to me. Um, and I mean, how could you not appreciate uh the sentiment that he put into this album? Like when Kendrick goes to make an album, he actually creates a body of work. He doesn't look to select the hottest beats. He doesn't look to clout chase or chase a trend. That's what I love about Kendrick. He's not chasing trends when he makes his albums or when he makes his songs, when he makes his music. He just makes what he feels. And then he goes and conceptualizes it. He turns it into a concept and then sells it to people. Like this is a full album. Like actually on this album, you can actually hear the therapist going through those traumas, not necessarily with Kendrick, but that's what the theme of this album was. You can hear the denial, you can hear the traumas being put on display, and then you can hear the solutions to attempting to get some of those childhood traumas resolved. That's what I appreciated about this album, that you can really see that he thought about this like, I'm a great rapper. I'm going to be a platinum selling artist every single time I drop. What do I need to do to really have this music resonate with certain group of people? Well, he's going to talk about childhood traumas. I mean, I just think it was phenomenal that Kendrick was able to do that. Like it was just great. It was just great. I mean, all in all things considered, I think this is an incredible album. He's not chasing the hottest beats. He's not looking to say the words that people are saying. He's not clout chasing with his music, and that's what I really love about this album. This album speaks to me in a way where I can listen to it and take something from it and be enlightened and think about something and go further with my ideology, because this song is speaking to me. Like I've listened to songs where it was just like, oh, this is nice, this is cool, this is great, but then it just kind of gets annoying where it's like, all right, well, I'm not in the mood to listen to something like that because I'm not turned up or whatever it is. This is not a turn up album. Now, there were people saying that To Pimp a Butterfly was not a turn up album. I would beg to differ, because To Pimp a Butterfly had "We Gonna Be All Right." It was kind of like a chant. Like those are chants. I should actually go back and listen to Pimp a Butterfly, because that was a phenomenal album. That was a great album. The problem with To Pimp a Butterfly is that he released Good Kid, Mad City, and then Damn right after that. So, Good Kid, Mad City was first. But if I had to rank Kendrick's albums, Section 88 to me wouldn't even make it, because honestly, I don't even remember listening to Section 88. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't remember listening to Section 88 at all. I gotta see what songs was on Section 88. Oh, I remember the Untitled, Unmastered. Oh my God, that was a beautiful body of work. But what was on Section 80? Yeah, I don't remember any of these songs. This came out 2011. Honestly, I don't remember any of these songs. I'm just gonna be honest with you. All of these songs on Section 80, I don't remember any of them. I don't think I was abreast to Kendrick Lamar at that time. I think really, oh, you know what? I saw Kendrick Lamar, ASAP Rocky, and Drake all in one show. When I was in college, we saw Kendrick Lamar, ASAP Rocky, and Drake in all in one show. It was an incredible time, because those are three incredible artists. Like it was crazy. ASAP Ferg was there too. It was crazy. ASAP Yams, I believe, was there as well. What a pretty crazy lineup that is. So yeah, man. I never really listened to Section 88 or what is it, Section 80, Section 88, Section 80, one of them. But if we were to rank Kendrick's albums, that is a good question. How would you even rank Kendrick's albums? If I had to rank Kendrick's albums, I would have to say, for me, Good Kid, Mad City would probably be number one. Then we would have to go to Pimp a Butterfly. Now this is where I have a little bit of a trouble between Damn and Mr. Morale. Mr. Morale, I love Mr. Morale. I absolutely love Mr. Morale. So I'm going to have to say Mr. Morale is better than Damn. I'm gonna have to say that. Even though Damn had DNA, Damn had Humble. Man, Damn is a damn good album. Let's just say that. Damn is a damn good album. Listen, man, if you are in here, take a second to drop us a like. We appreciate y'all listening to the Talk That Lingo crew, where we talk that lingo very fast. Absolutely, man. Like I said, if you are in here, take 1 second, drop us a like, drop us a comment. Let us know what you think the best Kendrick Lamar album is. I want to shift to this. Out of Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick, right? Who do you believe has the greatest impact on this generation? If I had to say, I think Kendrick has the greatest impact on me personally. But if I had to say who has the greatest impact on this generation, it's gonna sound crazy. I will have to say J. Cole. J. Cole has probably the greatest impact. J. Cole was the one who taught us that, what was it? You got a good thing. I know you're gonna see you again. Well, then a real thing, but is it just a one night stand? Oh man, like I haven't ran into anybody. Now straight up, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Oh, just. I haven't ran into anybody who doesn't like J. Cole. I'm just be honest with you. I've ran into people who don't like Drake, who don't like Kendrick. I think J. Cole is right in the middle of people who love hip hop music and then people who just are not necessarily big fans of hip hop music. I think Cole is probably the most impactful because he actually has a little bit of Drake's fans, a little bit of Kendrick's fans, and then he has his own fans, right? So like, if you don't like Kendrick or if you don't like Drake, you love J. Cole. That's just how it goes. I think Drake and Kendrick are like hot and cold, and then J. Cole is right somewhere in the middle. Like, that's just how it go. Listen, man, if you are in here, drop us a like. Make sure you drop us a like. Take a moment to drop us a like. Let's get into some basketball. Let me shift to this. On Tuesday's show, we were talking about how Devin Booker was not a superstar. That was my take, that he's not a superstar. Devin, I want to clean up my take on that a little bit here. Devin Booker is a number 2 on a good team. He is a number 2 if he was on a championship team, he wouldn't be the best player. He shouldn't be the best player on the championship team. He can't be the best player on the championship team, not playing for the Suns and not how they're presently constructed. The Suns, for what it's worth, I know we were talking about this, like I said, on Tuesday's show, so make sure you go back and watch Tuesday's show to just kind of get up to speed, and then this show will be posted, so you'll be able to come right back to this point. 19 minutes and 34 seconds. I don't think the Suns are a championship caliber team. They've never won a championship. Like, you just can't just say a team who's never won a championship. You can't say a team that never won a championship is a championship team. You could say they're a playoff team, but nobody says like a basketball team is a playoff team until before the playoffs. Like after the playoffs, you can't just say, oh yeah, they were a playoff team. That's not the lingo that people use. They say they made the playoffs. But when you are referring to an NBA team as a playoff team, that's indicating that the league is going into the playoffs. And this team happens to fall under the playoff spectrum. Like this team can make the playoffs. This is a playoff team. They're going to make the playoffs. But you don't say that they're a playoff team after the season, because that's just not, I mean, they made the playoffs. They're not a playoff team. Like it just doesn't make sense in conversation that I say the season ends today and I'm like, oh yeah, the Suns are a playoff team. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh yeah, they're a playoff team. Well, what does that mean? They're a playoff team. How do you know they're going to make the playoffs next year? You don't know. So you can't say they're a playoff team. The only time you could say a team is a playoff team is if they're going into the playoffs. That's one. I think on Tuesday we were talking about how the Suns are a regular season team. They're a regular season team. We all know what regular season team means. It means that no matter what happens, you're going to be good only in the regular season. You could be in the play-in, you could be in the playoffs, you could be in the finals. You're a regular season team. You're only going to win games in the regular season. One other point from Tuesday's talk. People forget the fact that any team that makes it to the final game of the season and loses, people forget all the series before that. We don't remember. Okay, so put it like this. If the Heat beat the Celtics, we're not going to say the Celtics are a phenomenal team, because there are other teams. There's going to be two other teams that's going to be able to be in that phenomenal team conversation, and that's the two teams that make the finals. So if the Celtics don't make it to the finals, we're going to remember that they swept the Nets, but we're going to remember that they swept the Nets and didn't make it to the finals. We're not going to leave that caveat out. They didn't make it to the finals and they swept the Nets. That's what we're going to remember. We're not going to say, oh yeah, they swept the Nets. They're an incredible playoff team. Yeah, but what about the team that won the championship? You get what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where, listen, there are 3 tiers of teams in the league, right? You got championship caliber team, okay? You got regular season teams, and then you got teams who aren't worth a damn. You can only be one of those 3. You can't be you're only a player. You're not categorized as a playoff team until you are about to make the playoffs. You're either a championship caliber team, a regular season team, or you're a team not worth a damn, like the Portland Trailblazers right now. They're not worth shit. But a team like a team like the Mavericks, they're a championship caliber team because they're on the verge of going to the championship right now. Now, once they either lose or win the series, that may change. But as of right now, today, and it will only be so for as the series is going on. This team is a championship caliber team because they're on the brink of going to the finals. But if they don't go to the finals, well, we're going to take that wording out. We're not going to say that they are a championship caliber team because they had an opportunity to go to the championship and they didn't. So as the facts change, so does my opinion. As the facts change, so does the conversation. That's just how it goes. So yeah, man, with that being said, man, it's your boy John Quick. That's all I wanted to come on here and say, man. I appreciate y'all always tapping in and tuning into the Talk That Lingo show. Talk That Lingo crew. We talk that lingo very fast. Like I always say, it's harder to keep money than to get it. If you have not yet checked out that Kendrick Lamar album, go check it out. It's fire. It's heat. You already know what my man Kendrick, my man Kenny Leonard, my man Kung Fu Kenny does. Yes, sir. You know the vibes. It's your boy John Quick. Talk that lingo crew. Talk that lingo very fast. We out of here. Gone, bitch.